Jim, is that a bit of a head scratcher to try to explain that performance today?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us saw that level of performance coming before the game. We had a great week's training. Boys were very positive in their approach and in their mindset going into it. Unfortunately, we started the game really, really poorly, which is something that we haven't done. Up to now in games. I suppose you take the Celtic game out of that, I suppose. But in terms of our all-round possession, we were really sloppy from the offset. Just giving possession back to Motherwell very cheaply, kicking the ball out of the park needlessly. Just too many, unfortunately, players within the team that were having a really poor day, and key players that up to now have been excellent. But for whatever reason, today, we've just had a really bad day at the office, and I'm not going to come on here and try and dress it up. We didn't play well enough. We didn't reach the levels that we know we're capable of. We didn't move the ball quick enough. Motherwell, in fairness to them, I need to give Stevie Hamill and his players credit. I thought their game plan worked really well, and as a group, we need to be prepared for teams who are going to come and sit in like that and be compact. And we were, in fairness, we spoke about it before the game. We knew that Motherwell would come up with a similar approach to St Mirren and try and hit us on the counter-attack. And I thought they'd done that very, very well, in fairness to them. A couple of the goals from our point of view are very avoidable. The distances I felt were too big along the back four at times. And those are things that we'll look at next week. But we got ourselves in front just after half time, but at no stage in the game today did I feel comfortable. I never really celebrated either goal because I thought, we just didn't look at our best at all. And sometimes in this game, you've just got to hold your hands up and say that, the better team won. And I thought Motherwell on the day were the better team. I don't like saying that, and I hope I don't have to say it, too often this season, but on the day I thought Motherwell deserved all 3 points.
You just wondered when Bojan equalised shortly before half-time and Johnny scored immediately after half-time, whether that might just be the flicking of the switch that was required. But I guess the performance was never really there, was it, over the 90 minutes?
No, I think that's fair. Obviously the goal that we score, even at 0-0, we have a great opportunity where Bojan managed to find himself through on goal, and he tries to think the keeper a little bit unlucky, got a little bit too much purchase on it. But that would have been completely against the run of play because Motherwell were the better team at that moment. To equalise at that particular time was very pleasing, and it was good going into the dressing room, having been back in the game. But I did stress to the players how lucky we were to be in there at one each, and surely we couldn't play as bad as that again. But it's not down to a lack of effort, Rob. It's not that the players don't care or aren't trying. Sometimes we all have a bad day at the office. Now, we know we can't afford too many of those kind of days, but this today is maybe a bit of a reality check to the group. Every time I've done interviews from the League Cup up to the Celtic game and the St Mirren game, there has been a real air of positivity, which has been fantastic, and we want to maintain that. Albeit I've been trying to keep people's feet on the ground because I didn't want us getting carried away. I know how difficult this league is, and you only need to look at some of the other results within the Scottish Premier League today to see how competitive this league is going to be this season. And I spoke about consistency with you before the game. I spoke about that in the build-up to the game all week with the players. Consistent individual performances, consistent collective performances in terms of how we're passing the ball and how our approach to the game is. Obviously, you need results, good positive results consistently as well. So, unfortunately, today was a below par performance from us all, myself included, and we just have to take it on the chin.
Does that put pressure on going to Perth next weekend? Because you don't want to be spilling too many points early on in the season, obviously.
No, of course not. I mean, we want to win every game that we're going into, and that's always our approach. But sometimes the opposition have a good day, and you don't reach the levels that we know we're capable of. Very unusual for any team to go through a league without dropping points somewhere or without defeats. But as I said, we can't have too many performances like that because otherwise you will get punished. I think it's too early to start talking about pressure. We've coasted through our League Cup group stage, winning all 4 games, clean sheets, scoring goals, gave a decent account of ourselves at Parkhead, played really well last weekend. We've had a setback today. I think that's what it is. It's it's a setback. There's a lot we can take from it and learn from it and do better at. But, you know, the boys are an honest group. You know, that's why we walked about the pitch after the game. It's very easy to stand out there after the game against St Mirren and the fans are all cheering your name and they're all happy and enjoyed what they watched. Today was different. And, you know, we've got to accept that criticism when it comes our way. You know, we still appreciate the fans for coming out in good numbers and getting behind the team. And we take that one on the chin. And, you know, whatever is going to come our way just now, it's acceptable. But we'll dust ourselves down, we'll analyse the game on Monday with the group, and then we'll put it behind us and focus on the St Johnstone one.
Injuries to Matty, which is a worry, of course, because of his recent injury record, and Leighton went off as well. I know it's a bit early for you to be telling us exactly what the issue is, but I guess it was disruption in the game, and you're hoping for the best for both of them.
Of course, yeah. I mean, we've not carried a great deal of luck of late with injuries right through the whole of pre-season. You know, with Conor Barron and Mackenzie. Pleased to have Jack back into the group. Obviously, Coulson last week going off injured, and a couple with niggles today. I'm hopeful that the two boys today, Leighton and Matty, aren't too serious. It looked as if there was some kind of hamstring issue with Matty, nothing to do with his back injury. And Leighton Clarkson looked similar. I don't know whether it was a touch of cramp with the wee guy or not. I'm not sure, but we'll sit down with the medical team just after I speak to you now and try and get an assessment from them. But I don't think it's anything to concern ourselves with too much. Obviously, Cal Roberts last week as well, you know, picked up a serious one. So we can't afford to pick up these injuries. So hopefully, as I said, the two boys will be okay.
Thanks, Jim. Let's hope for better next time.
Thanks, Rob. Cheers.
Thank you, Paul.
Cheers, Paul.